of the QBs,
Yeah.
the stars of the league, and to me, it's just it's taken away from the game from the defensive standpoint. What are these guys
Well,
supposed to do?
well, they're going to flag football, and that's just the way it is. I mean, helmet football is just not going to be a thing from that standpoint. But
Well, like I said last
anyway,
week, I think the last show, just play rugby. Hell,
yeah, it's good to be back, though. Sorry we missed week 5. Looking forward to getting everybody ready for week 6. We'll review a couple things. Raiders, of course, have a bye, but I got 6 o'clock, so let's roll this thing. See if anybody shows up.
exactly.
Okay.
It's game day, baby! Let's go!
Welcome,
Hey, not for
everyone.
nothing.
NFL Nation Live, our week 6 show. Go ahead, Cap.
I'll say not for nothing, but I think that you got some good video of yours truly on Monday Night Football. Now, there's no sound with it, but you
Huh.
can throw some yards over the top of it.
Wow.
Because that's great video of the Hall of Famer Wayne Violator Mabry. So you can get some good video of me rapping at the camera, and I will go to all your yards, and you can throw that audio over the top.
Cap's all fired up for week 6, man.
Exactly.
Welcome, everybody, to NFL Nation Live. I am Ref Guru, and we are with the legendary Pirate Captain Jack, and, of course, the Hall of Famer Wayne Violator Maybe. Welcome, everyone. We'll open up the chat here in just a minute. We are going to give away a book tonight. We're going to give away a copy of Amy Trask's book, You Negotiate Like a Girl. It is a football book, and if you haven't read it, you're going to read it because we're going to give one away tonight to a lucky person. So stay tuned, because before the break, after we've wrapped week 5 and get ready for week 6, we're going to throw out the trivia question so that you all can Google out of it. Get ready after the commercial break. But before we get to all the craziness, I know Cap's ready. I think I'm ready after a bye week, so to speak. But I think the big question here is, V, are you ready?
I stay ready, and I'm taped up with some extra tape. Let's go hit something.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I was just wondering, though, do you kick field goals? I'm just curious. Huh. I
I
don't know.
probably could. I used to punt in high school. I think I could.
Well,
All
the
right,
kid's
let's roll
a
this
field
thing.
goal kicker.
I think everybody's fired up. We'll open the chat here right after the intro. Welcome, everyone, to NFL Nation Live. Opened up the chat. Thanks for everybody. Thanks for the baseball scores. Appreciate that. Hard to believe the Dodgers are tied at 1-1, but it is what it is. That said, it's still football season. Sorry we missed last week. I kind of had to go to Wisconsin. Didn't have to, want to. Go to Wisconsin. Got to see a little Green Bay Packers. Got to meet some really cool people. Got to tour Lambeau Field. I actually got a special tour of Lambeau Field. I got to go places people don't get to go in Lambeau Field. But let's put the wraps on week 5. How's everybody doing? Yeah?
Doing great, man. Just kind of in disbelief of Monday night's debacle or collapse, if you will. But we're moving forward.
That's a nice way to put it. So, Ed says he was walking in Hollywood with a Raider shirt on, and a lady asked me if I saw that pirate on Monday Night Football. Who in the
What
heck
pirate?
was that?
What pirate? I don't know any pirates.
Yeah, I don't either. Apparently, they don't kick field goals either. Indianapolis went into Denver, and they beat the Colts. It's probably one of the worst games I've ever seen. 12-9. Nobody cares. I mean, I'm glad Denver got beat, but whatever. Giants went into London and beat the Packers. I mean, this isn't probably as big a win for the Giants as it was for a loss for the Packers. I know it wasn't a home game for Green Bay, even though they had the end zones painted. Packers over there in London, but an interconference game loss isn't a very big deal. I mean, what's going on with the Packers? Are they going to beat the Jets this week? I mean, they barely beat the Patriots last week.
Well, as far as the Giants in that game, like I say, the Giants have an identity. Um,
They
the
do.
coaches really got those guys to buy into his program. They're believing in themselves now, even with Danny Dimes uh, on a hurt ankle, so to speak. But they unleashed that beast of Saquon,
Yeah,
and
they
they
did.
had no answer for
And
him.
the Packers weren't ready for it. Couple questions for you, V. It says one of those, how long does it take you to put on your battle gear?
That's a 2 hour transformation.
Yeah, with some attitude to go with it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I understand there's some people that don't really like baseball, but we are all sports fans, so we can shout out a little love, even if you're
oh yeah.
Giants fans. I get all that. Anywho, Pittsburgh got handed to him by Buffalo. The Chargers beat Cleveland because I don't know, maybe Cleveland doesn't know how to manage the clock, kick field goals, unlike their pals over in Las Vegas. Houston
They
beat
were
Jacksonville
gifted.
at home.
They were gifted, and they because Staley is still the biggest schmuck coach in the league. They were
Yeah,
gifted a win, and they couldn't make it happen.
yeah, copy that. Chicago lost to Minnesota. Detroit lost to New England. Big. I mean, Detroit. Guys, Detroit is like number 3 in the NFL in scoring with 140 points. They go into New England and get bombed by the Patriots with the starting quarterback nobody's ever heard of. What happened to the Lions in New England? Anybody know? I don't know. I mean, they forgot to show up, but besides that,
That's all you need to say. They didn't show
okay.
up.
Seattle scoring a lot of points. I didn't know the Saints could put up 39 points, but they needed all of them to beat Seattle. This is a Seahawks team that can't play any defense. I guess they just think that they're going to outscore people, but they better get their act together this week because if the Angry Birds weren't angry before last week by getting beat by Philadelphia, they're going to be angry this week. Miami got beat by the Jets. I have no idea what to think of New York. They're going to go into Green Bay, and a bunch of people are going to trying to figure that out. But I did miss one aspect on the Lions game in New England. We forgot to ask Coach what his take was on beating the Lions 29-0, or if you're just going to be moving on to Cleveland. What do you say,
Well,
Coach?
I think it's really obvious on that question. I don't know why you had to disturb me out of my sleep. I was already taking a nap for the next game. What I will say is this, is that the NFL gifted us with another bye week because I paid them off well exclusively, and they have to give us presents. So it's on to whoever the hell we play next. I'm still groggy from my nap. Don't tell me who the hell we play next. It's just on to
Yeah,
whoever.
well, I'm gonna tell you because you're gonna play the team that fired your ass about 20 years ago.
Oh,
Um,
we're going back to Cleveland. Well,
yeah,
f those people on that
actually,
damn.
they're not even really the Cleveland Browns that fired you. The Cleveland Browns that fired you are now the Baltimore Ravens. So the Baltimore Ravens, who were the
We'll
Cleveland,
get into that team later. Okay,
so it's
get your
not really
stuff
even the
together.
Cleveland.
Listen, I don't know who you are, but get your stuff together. Okay, stop
Copy that,
disturbing me
Coach.
from my nap. Okay,
Yeah,
I gotta go now. Just on
copy.
to whoever.
Yeah, well, let me know if you need a punter because I know where you can get one. Oh, wait, he's still in London. Never mind. Atlanta got beat by Tampa Bay. This is a game where Atlanta could have won it. They didn't win it. Tampa Bay won it. There's a lot of controversy onto the fluff call to Brady, but that's really not what won this game for Atlanta. They just forgot to show up. You got to win those division games on the road. Tampa Bay's never been more vulnerable, and they may have a trap game this week in Pittsburgh. We'll talk to that. We'll talk about that. Tennessee went into Washington, got beat or beat the whatever they are now. Really, this win for Tennessee was important, really, just from the divisional standpoint. Usually, interconference games on the road, if you watch this show, know that we don't put a lot of emphasis on that. But in this case, that was a big one because the AFC South just kind of in a big free for all right now from that standpoint. JB, it's in the rule book. Hasn't been used since 2015. I believe the term they flagged it. Yes. Yeah. Just call it the Phantom
That's
call.
it.
They
Phantom.
shouldn't even look. They shouldn't even be having that call. There's just not even a call. Nobody's doing anything on a field goal. All they're doing is never
Locking
mind.
up.
Yeah,
locking
they
up.
just forget. San Francisco beat Carolina. It was a big win for the 49ers. Carolina's in big trouble, and they're going to get even deeper into it this week. I think we should put, Carolina as well as a couple other teams on the clock. Philadelphia went into Arizona and got a big win against the interconference in another NFC team. Those games can hurt you, right? If somehow you end up with the tiebreaker, Cardinals end up going back to Philadelphia for some crazy reason, but um, the Cardinals gave them all they wanted. If you guys saw any highlights from that game, that was 20-17. I think that was kind of unexpected, if you will. Not so much maybe that the Cardinals didn't win, but that the Eagles only got 20 points. But the Cardinal defense isn't that good.
Yeah, but they held them in check as best they could. I saw a couple of plays from that game, man, and it just came down to mistakes at the end of the games. Like we were talking earlier, finishing games. That's the utmost of importance, man.
Yeah. I'm just responding to somebody who said that holding call is a makeup call. And that's an unfortunate truth with officiating. But I can tell you what, if I was a white hat with the crew and you had a makeup call, you'd be working for somebody else, because that's just not how the integrity of the game works. I'm sorry, it's just not how it
Well,
works.
the unfortunate thing is your statement said, if I was a white hat, because we would love to have had you as a white hat, because yeah, you're a Raiders fan, but I know that your intestinal fortitude. So there's your movie reference from tonight. That's out of Porky's. Your intestinal fortitude is such that you would be fair, not no
Yeah, I
Gene
appreciate that.
Steratore index
Yeah.
card fair.
Yeah, no, I copy that. Yeah, I mean, I understood that Steratore did that to be funny, but you got to think about how that actually plays out, to the teams and to the fans in real life, which really isn't good from that standpoint. But if you know Steratore, you know that he's just a jokester, so to speak. He picked the wrong time, I think, to do that, but he really didn't do it out of malice. As much as we'd like to frame it in that context, but that's certainly what it looked like, and he should have thought it. But I worked with officials who specifically would go into halftime in the locker room and say, I'm going to have a makeup call. And I looked across the locker room and I said, don't even think about that. And the referee was like, you be quiet because you're the junior field judge. The back judge can do whatever he wants. And I said, if that happens, I said, I don't want to work on this crew anymore. And he did, and I didn't. So there you go. Dallas went into LA, beat the Rams. This is a big one, guys. I mean, not so much from the scoring standpoint, but the Rams are just not functioning at all. And it's not that Dallas is necessarily all that good. It was 22-10 or something like that. But big win for the Cowboys because they got that NFC head-to-head matchup this week against the Eagles in Philadelphia. But I think the bigger question for me is, anybody know what's going on with the Rams right now? They watching too much baseball or what?
That's a hard one to call right there, especially with the coaching staff that the Rams have. But like I say, as far as execution, they just looked a little lethargic to me. And there's definitely something going on with Stafford's elbow or
It seems
arm
like
or
it.
whatever it is
Yeah,
that
it seems
they're
like it.
not disclosing, because you could just see the velocity of his passes. They weren't there, man.
Yeah.
He went downfield a couple of times, but nothing really lengthy like we've seen from him in the past.
Right.
And like I say, Dallas D really set the tone early in that game, and the Rams never recovered from that.
No, and I just
Does
don't know.
anybody know who the backup quarterback for in LA is?
Cooper Rush?
Wow.
No, I don't.
No. That's the wrong.
No,
trivia
I know,
question.
but that's the only guy that comes to mind because he keeps popping up everywhere. But
Yeah.
Dallas defense better than most. That's true. And I think if you look at the NFC, they are right up in there. I think the issue I have with Dallas right now, y'all, is that they're not scoring enough points. They're 25th in the NFL in scoring. Now, you can play all the defense you want to, but if you can win some games, you got to start scoring some points. And I think the Cowboys are going to have trouble if they don't start putting some touchdowns on the board. I mean, you compare that. What is Dallas, 4-1 or something? You compare that to a Raiders team that's 1-4, and the Raiders are number 8 in scoring.
Right.
Dallas is 25th. So how do you figure all that? Hey, cool, Kev. Thanks for joining us. So, I mean, scoring is a part of this show because it's a stat that matters. And I think the
Yes.
Cowboys, they're going to have to put up some points this week in Philadelphia. Cincinnati went into Baltimore in
And
the
I looked
AFC
at
North.
Bryce Perkins.
Who?
Yeah,
Rush is
Rice.
better than
it's
Dak.
Bryce
Yeah, he is.
Perkins. Yeah.
Why was that in the tunnel? Should punish KC for allowing people in the Raiders tunnel. Yeah, well, I agree with you on that front. I mean, I just think it's sad we're in an age when um, that kind of stuff even has to happen. I mean, I don't want to advocate for violence, but Devonta Adams pushed the guy in frustration, and I mean, is there more of a Raider patch than you need than to shove somebody who shouldn't be shoved? I mean, there's a little old school in there. Get your ass out of the way. You know, I don't know.
It almost looks staged to me, but who knows? Like I say,
Well, I
it's
think he got in his way. I mean, if you
oh
look
yeah,
at it closely, I think he was. I think he was.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I want people to be able to do their jobs. Blah blah blah. But anyway, that said, Baltimore managed to hold off Cincinnati in a division game. Baltimore looks like they could walk away with this division if they want to. We'll see what kind of Baltimore team we have. I think this week when they go in and play a pretty good Giants team, or at least a Giants team that thinks they're pretty good. But Baltimore is going to have to get it together on defense. They're just giving up too much. I hope the NFL does not suspend Adams. Me too, but they will. Why? Because he's a Raider, and why? Because they gotta protect the guy with the camera who shouldn't have been in the way. It's like night and
Well,
day the way
but
football is played now. Oh, I agree with you on that front. The guy
isn't the
shouldn't have been there to
question
begin with.
though?
Agree
And
with you on
here's
that
the
front.
thing: didn't the NFL always put out a stipulation that they're not going to suspend anybody until the court case is at least looked at? And if the court case gets tossed, and Adams is going to pay off the schmuck. Okay, the guy did it deliberately. He's looking to get paid. The NFL used to say, "Oh, we're not going to suspend them until the court case is heard." Well, if that's true, then they are again it's a Raider rule that they're going to screw
That's
Adams
exactly
even
right.
before the court case is even heard. So if the
That's
NFL
why
says that
that
they
exactly
are
because
that they're fair, they're full of crap.
exactly because the rules don't apply to us, unfortunately. Yep, which is it is what it is. All right, I scrambled through all those Week 5 games mostly because most of them didn't really matter. Although I was glad Denver got beat because we needed to get to the Las Vegas game where they went into Kansas City a 17-0 lead. Um, didn't do much after that. But the thing that I got to know is, and we can talk about the phantom holding call all you want to, but you can't fix stupid. And if that's the way they're going to be, so be it. But and I agree, there were makeup calls. There was, I mean, that's why in our intro, I got the phantom picture over the guy because that's exactly what it is. But the killer to me was not kicking the extra point to tie the game. You're on the road, hostile environment. Somebody explain to me why we don't kick field goal. I don't get it. John Madden rolling over 15 times. I
I'm
think it was
sure
we
it
had a
is.
small earthquake in NorCal because he was rolling over. Because Madden would have kicked the extra point, tie the game, take your chances in overtime or whatever time is left in regulation. But we're blowing timeouts like Jerome Boger blowing calls in Cincinnati in the second half. So we get down there, and then we got Devontae Adams and Renfro running into each other like a some sort of comedy routine, which I guess is what Las Vegas is for entertainment. But I mean, the Chiefs had to be laughing in the sidelines, right, V? Because they're all just thinking we don't have to win this game. The Raiders just got up for us.
I was just watching the expression of the two defenders. They were like, "Damn, we didn't have to do anything. They took each other out." So
Yeah,
it was a Keystone Cop moment. Trust me.
they
Now,
ran a play. If you watch though, they ran a play similar to that, and the receivers, you know, crossed over but didn't run into each other. So I'm not really sure why that happened on that play. But I don't know why you even design plays like that where you don't have. I understand you're trying to get a mismatch. You're trying to get a
yeah,
defensive player to make a mistake and cover the wrong guy, and I get that. But if you don't take into account those types of problems, you didn't see Bill Walsh run those plays, and that's why, right?
Right. Here's my take on it, Ref. Situational football. We always go back to that cliche phrase: 4th and 1. You're already in field goal range for Cole.
Yeah,
You got a fullback that's playing his ass off.
yeah,
Give Jacobs the ball. He was hot. Give him the
yep.
ball. Don't call an ego, what I call an ego play, to go for the gusto. Just get in field goal range. Let Cole kick. Game over. Totally
There's
different subject matter tonight that we'll be talking.
I agree with you. It says in the comment in the Renfro is a jinx. I'm not going to
Spelled
argue that point to
incorrectly,
some
but
extent,
you
but
know what it was.
and it also, there was one in there that says, honestly, 40 seconds left, 2 deep passes downfield, just get the first down. Yeah. Um,
Simple.
that's a 5-game suspension for what?
That's Hefe the troll. Just pay no attention to what his comments are. But thank you for watching, Hefe. I will give you that.
Oh, gotcha. 5-game suspension. No, probably not. But anyway, all right. Let's see what else we got. Renfro is having a bad year. I agree with you on that front. Devontae was upset because he ran the wrong route. I don't know if he ran the wrong route. Just upset. I mean, everybody's frustrated by that game, right? How could
Oh
you
yeah.
not be?
How could you
You,
not
you
be?
can you can pin a whole mess of things on why everybody's upset. And did Devontae throw his helmet in Green Bay? No. Why? Because they have better coaches and a better quarterback. That's why he didn't throw his helmet.
Ooh, touche.
Probably suspended for 1 game. It's still really bad. Yeah, he'll probably get 1 game.
Well,
Anyway.
you know what? I say that these should be suspended for next week. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
That's not yeah.
But yeah, that's exactly the way it should happen. Renfro, let's see. What was that comment? Why go for 2? I don't know,
I don't
James.
get it.
Nobody knows why we went for 2. Nobody knows. You're on the road. You're down by 1 point. You can tie the game.
Tie
After
the
all
game.
that, you got
And
the
that put
momentum, right? You got the momentum after the touchdown, right? The Chiefs are stunned now that you even getting it close. And then you run a 2-point conversion, and then you see Andy Reid on the sidelines. I mean, it was all he could do, just he busts up laughing. The refs was looking out for the Raiders in the first half. Then Andy Reid threatened to pour hot gravy on the Zebras. Well, if there's one thing we don't like, it's hot gravy. I can tell you that front.
hot grits either.
Yeah, analytics sucks. Type that again in all capital letters. Analytics
I
sucks. Yes,
agree. I agree,
stop
Tito.
that. Stop that right now. Man, that's just messed up. Okay, we're gonna give away a copy of Amy Trask's book, You Negotiate Like a Girl. It's a great football book. If you're a Raiders fan or not, or a football fan in particular, you got to read this book, along with V's book that he did called The Walk, and Brian's book that we'll give away later in the season about his 500 plus games that he's gone to. Yeah, there you go, Cap. Cap's got the books out there. We're going to give a copy of Amy's book tonight when we come back from the break. We'll give you the question before we go to the break. But one of the things, the guy that's been to the 500 plus games, Brian Goose, I think is his last name. He's got a good book. We'll give away that later in the season. But his I don't know if you guys know this, his wheelchair is going in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I saw that
because
yeah.
it's made 500 some NFL trips, NFL games. So it's pretty cool.
Hey, that's worthy, man. To me,
Yeah.
that's worthy.
Yeah. We gotta put week 5 behind us. The Raiders have a chance to kind of turn this thing around. We're gonna put some teams on the clock though, y'all too. But we'll have that discussion after the break. But we're not gonna put the Raiders on the clock. I know they're 1-4, and it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that they've got some winnable games coming up. Why are we not putting them on the clock just yet? And they're close. They're number 8 in scoring. You guys, that scoring stat's a big one, and you can argue all you want to. We woulda, coulda, shoulda, but we've lost our games by what, a total of 14 points or something.
And
so
six of them was on the 1 touchdown in overtime.
yes, right. So, are we biting the big one? Yeah, maybe, but we're not putting them on the clock. If they were 15th in scoring, maybe. But when you look at the Indianapolis Colts that have, after 5 weeks, you'll have scored 69 points. Okay, Kansas City's leading the NFL with 159 points. They scored almost 100 points more than the Colts. Denver at 76, Pittsburgh at 77. I think you see where we're going with that. I think the surprises are the Rams at 29, Green Bay at 22, Dallas at 25. I mean, they're mixed in with Chicago, Washington, Houston, some teams that probably should be on the clock. It's going to make it interesting to see who can go where. But okay, tonight's trivia. Bengals lost 3 by 8 points. Big deal. Well, Violator and Cap, are you going to be at the Denver game?
No.
Oh, is that 2 weeks? Or because we just played Denver.
No, they're
That's
talking the Denver
in
game.
Denver.
Oh, in Las Vegas. Or in Denver.
In Denver.
No, in Denver. Yeah, okay.
Right. And Tito, I will be there. Don't be late.
If Raiders fans are the worst, why are you here? I don't know. I've been asking myself that for a really long time. All right, tonight's trivia question before we go to the break. Get your fingers in the Google ready. 25 bingo cross is a play from the Raiders playbook, right?
Yep.
Okay. Tonight's question before we go to the break. That play was called in a win over the New York Jets. Who threw the ball? Who caught the ball? In 25 bingo cross. We'll be back after the break. Carr Crabtree. All right, welcome back, everyone, to NFL Nation Live, the second half of our show. We've closed the books on Week 5. We've gotten as much out of that Raiders game as we possibly can. There weren't a lot of other notable games last week, except maybe Dallas, L.A., Philadelphia, Arizona, Baltimore, Cincinnati. And you could argue something with the Packers if they can turn things around. But Rich Gannon, Jerry Rice, nope. What was I going to say? Oh, crap, I forgot. Plunkett Branch. Nope. Man. Come on, I want to give away a book. All right. Carr Adams. Nope. You got to go back a little bit further. Security was chasing him out. There was a question. Why isn't the Raiders Nation not asking why the KC person was blocked? Exactly. That's why this is the problem with this whole thing, is that they're automatically assuming. Now, I'm not advocating that Devontae Adams should have pushed whoever it was to the ground. I'm not saying that was a good idea. But I think you have to look at everything within the whole context of that act. And if he went out of his way to push the guy down, okay, fine. If he's in his face with a camera and he's blocking his access to the locker room, I totally agree with you. Why was he there? Where was security? And all that sort of stuff. Carr Ruggs, nope. I'd rather be a 1-4 Raiders fan. Okay. Stabler Casper, nope. Stabler Branch, nope. Wasn't Plunkett Branch either. Wasn't even LaMonica Bolitnikoff. Wow. I don't know, guys. I'm not sure I'm going to give away a book tonight. Washington going to play Chicago tomorrow night. Does anybody care? I don't. No. San Francisco going to play Atlanta. Anybody care? The one that I think will be interesting, Coach going to go into Cleveland and face his sort of other old team, the new Cleveland Browns. But, it's got to be somewhat of a thing going on there. I mean, Cleveland probably should be the football pick, but Coach, what do you think? Are you moving on to Cleveland, or are you still trying to figure out what happened with the Detroit Lions?
Well, first off, like I said, stop waking me up from my nap. I was told that you were asking me a question, and I told you, what was it? It wasn't even 10 minutes ago.
Gannon Brown.
Hey, Wayne, you're in the Hall of Fame. I'm going to be there with you someday. Can you tell this guy to stop waking me up? Okay.
Let Coach B sleep, ref.
Okay. Yeah.
He's tired.
Let me take a nap. No. I don't like answering questions from some referee.
Geez.
Okay?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Some referee.
I'm in the Hall of Fame too, goddammit.
Well, okay. Anyway,
I got there before you did, Coach.
Well,
Adam,
but I'm going to be there longer. Let's put it that way. My bus is going to be there,
yeah,
and whatever artifact that you have in the Hall of Fame
nobody
will
cares.
be
No, I get it.
exactly.
Yeah,
But we care only because you're on the Raider fans and the people that watch your show seem to care. I am Coach Belichick. I don't give a rat's ass about your stuff in the Hall of Fame.
copy that.
Okay, other people
Well,
can, but that's them.
well,
Okay,
let me
now
ask you this. Let me ask you this,
getting back,
Coach. The
yeah.
other, let me ask you this, Coach. The other team that you didn't coach was the Jets. They're going into Green Bay to play the Packers this week. What do you feel about that one?
Okay, so this is a trick question. Do I have to answer twice now?
No, you don't. It's a trick question.
So
Uh,
Oh
you asked
man.
me another
Well,
question. I
maybe
tell
you
you to
should win the
shut up.
book. Oh, you already
So
have a
you
book.
asked me another question. That is a
All
trick
right.
question.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
Jacksonville's going to go to
Okay.
Indianapolis to play the.
Let's no. Let's put it this way. I guarantee you
Uh-huh,
that the winner of the Jets Packers game will be wearing
uh-huh.
green.
Yeah. You know what? I'll take that and I'll up you
In
one
one
and
in one
I'll
form
say
in one form or another, the winning
yeah.
team will have a green color scheme.
And I think they will have scored more points than their team too.
I
Renovation? No.
at least one more.
Yeah, at least
But
one more.
to your original question, when my Patriots
Hmm.
actually remember they're changing the name after retire to the New England Belichicks. I've already gone on record with that. Okay, Bob has told me that I have more pictures of him down at the
So
Wild
so
Orchid, and if he doesn't change the name of the team, they're going to be submitted. And
so
then I think her name Susie Wong was the chick that was there,
jeez.
down
Probably
at the Wild
rub
Orchid.
things the wrong way. So
Okay,
what's the logo going to be on the helmet? A ripped hoodie?
no, it's going to be well. See, there are pictures of me when I'm out there. You've seen the Putin pictures where Putin is
Uh-huh.
on a horse and he's all buff. He don't have shit on me.
Oh,
He don't have shit on me.
okay.
Okay,
He's
my
got a
my babes look better than his babes. I'm just saying that.
with or without the hoodie. Plunkett Allen, no. McDaniels
No,
does not have a winning strategy. McDaniels doesn't have a lot of things, including a winning strategy. All right.
well,
So, what you guys take on New England, Cleveland? I'm taking the Patriots, not because they're necessarily the better team at the moment, but I don't think Belichick's going to go in there and get embarrassed by the Browns.
the other thing is that New England actually has a defense that will be able to
Yeah,
stop the running game that Cleveland has because Cleveland does not have a passing game. And by the way, who runs the defense in New England? I don't know. Would that be me?
probably.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yes, it
probably.
is. So
Hostetler Brown, no.
on to Cleveland, and then the next week on to whoever the hell else, and I'm going back to sleep. So
Fire
shut up.
McDaniels at the end of the season. Why would you wait that long? Okay, the Jets going to go into Green Bay, play the Packers. It's a game the Packers really need, guys. They
Remember,
lost to
green,
Minnesota. They lost to
green
the
color.
Giants. Chiefs are going to be called the chefs. Well, they should have been called that a long. They should have been called that when the guy that painted the end zone wrong because they didn't eat a Snickers.
Right.
That's when they were the chefs. Jacksonville going to go into Indianapolis and play the Colts. Big division game here because the Titans are kind of wandering around trying to figure out what's going on. Can the Colts kind of turn things on there? What 2-2-1 or something? The Colts aren't out of it. Let me see where the Colts are in scoring though. Oh, dead last. That's right. Yeah. Jacksonville. Where's Jacksonville? Of course, they got beat by Houston. I don't really understand that. I know it's a division game, but Jacksonville 14. So they're in the middle of the pack, but they should be able to beat the Colts. But I don't know. I don't think this Colts team's going to be able to turn it around. We're in week 6 already. They've only scored 69 points. I think they should be on the clock, but that's just me. But you guys have a take on Jacksonville, Indianapolis?
I'm just going to pick Indy in this one, being at home. Their defense is playing decent, and
They
they're
are
getting
playing
their.
decent.
They're supposed to be getting their main running back into this week. So I think that's going to give the running game an edge. But yeah, their passing game is what's hurting them.
Yeah, well,
But I'm
thanks
still
to
taking them
Matt
at
Ryan.
home.
Yeah.
If Taylor plays, I'm going Indy. If Taylor does
Yeah,
not play, I will take Jacksonville. I know
Patrick Graham is
Taylor's
I know that
supposed to
sounds
play.
wishy-washy.
Yeah,
I know it sounds wishy-washy, but if Taylor plays, it's Indy. If not, Jacksonville will win.
James, can you give us a hint in the question?
Yes, 25 bingo cross.
Oh man, you guys not follow Amy Trask? She just told you yesterday on Twitter. Gosh, we try to give things away. Yes, we'll give you a hint if you guys don't come up with one, but I'm going to give you a
No,
little more
no,
time.
no. Amy Trask's book is worthwhile to at least Google the shit. Okay, my
Well,
goodness.
hell, if they followed me, Wayne, or Amy, they would have had that. What was the question? The question was 25 Bingo Cross is a famous or sort of famous Raiders play. It is a Raiders play, whether it's famous or not, I don't
Yeah.
know. But it was a play that beat the Jets a few years back. It was a play called in the huddle by a backup quarterback who came in, said, "We're going to run 25 Bingo Cross and let's get the win and get out of here." And the question is, who called 25 Bingo Cross in the huddle, which was the quarterback? Who was the quarterback? And who did he throw the touchdown pass to that beat the Jets? Mike is still not answered. Should KC be punished for allowing that person in the tunnel? I don't know, Jack. We'd have to know more about what happened in that scenario. Um, NFL security should be looking at the whole thing. I believe that they're independent enough to do that without any hindrances between popularity of teams or whatever. Um, Probably what happens is that regardless of the why, the photographer probably is not going to be at fault. Devontae Adams should not have done what he did. He's going to get suspended. But after the fact, which is usually how this stuff plays out for us, the Raiders get punished, and then they're like, "Oh, well, we're going to change protocol. It should be this and that." You are the crew that's out there, though. You guys in the chat tonight is asking the right question, and that is, why are we not seeing the whole thing within the context of what happened? We're only seeing the Devontae Adams part of this thing, and I think that we need to see the whole story. Unfortunately, we probably won't get that. Vince Evans to Mervin Fernandez. Wow. Ed got it. Wilson to Jet. Yep. Wade Wilson threw it to James Jett. Although Evans to Fernandez was a hell of a shot at that. Ref screwed us all in the second half. Yes, we know. And it wasn't just in the second half, but okay. So Ed, you win the prize. I probably already have your info, but in case I don't, send your info to NFLNationLive@gmail.com. We'll get your book out to you. Yeah, so Wade Wilson came in, I think, in relief of Vince Evans, and they were trailing the Jets. Won that game. That was a great one. But Vince Evans and Mervin Fernandez, that was a great guess. The problem with that comment, the ref screwed us all in the second half. The problem with the Raiders getting the calls in the first half, you guys. The problem is that the team then starts to think, okay, we're starting to understand how this game's going to get called. And then the second half, when the officials don't call it consistently, the other team doesn't know what happened. And that's one of the biggest, if you will, moral aspects of officiating that I just absolutely detest. Because it's one of the few refereeing, if you will, or officiating pieces that can't be proven that's what happened, unless you've been there, worn the hat, been in those locker rooms, and been in those circles, and been in those conversations. It's unfortunate, but there are people out there. I don't know if there's anybody on Sheffer's crew or not. I have to look into that a little bit more. But there are folks out there that will say we do have to have a makeup call, or they'll change their tactics in the way that they call the game in the second half, which is absolutely wrong. The problem is you really can't prove it. But the people that know, and if there's people that know, and I was in charge of officiating, those people would not be working.
I'm looking at Hollywood Raiders said that he had it first. So I'm actually looking to see if he did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw that comment too. Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe we'll send 2 books. So you're saying Hollywood Raider had it?
Well, he said he had. I'm looking. I'm looking
Okay.
there, Shipping.
I'm not going to argue with them. People aren't going to lie in there. So Hollywood Raider, if you're out there, send me an email, NFLNationLive@gmail.com. Send me your shipping information.
What is the answer? Wilson Jet?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, by a like a skosh. Hollywood has it. Wilson the Jet by just in top in front of Ed Winchell.
Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. Um, in lieu of essentially having a tie, I want emails for both. Um, Man, why do I have refs amnesia?
Edwin.
Ed
Yeah.
and Cap, who's the other one?
Hollywood.
Yeah,
Hollywood. Okay.
Hollywood and Ed Winchell. Yes.
Blame the refs for all the Raiders' losses. Not all of them, just some of them. Only the big ones. We can't beat the refs too. No, we understand that. Gore versus Bush. All right. So anyway, so Ed and Hollywood, send me your shipping information. NFLNationLive@gmail.com. We'll get some prizes out to you.
Jerry says they have to have a strip off. I know both of these people personally. I do not want to see a strip off.
Copy that.
Yeah. And I love them both, but no.
We don't.
No.
We don't have to go to all that. All right. So NFL Nation. I think I spelled that right. NFL Nation. Nope, I didn't.
Oh, well, you missed the end,
Dang
but
it.
it's NFLNationLive@gmail.com.
I don't know how to
There you
delete
go.
my own.
You got
I don't
you
know how
got
to
Yeah.
delete.
that one.
I don't know
Yeah.
how to delete my own tweet. Anyway. All right. NFLNationLive@gmail.com, and we'll get your prizes out to you. Copy of Amy Trask's book, You Negotiate Like a Girl, and whatever else I feel like sending you. Maybe another copy of that. Minnesota going to go into Miami, take on the Dolphins. This is a Dolphins team that, man, I mean, I wouldn't say they're in total disarray because they don't act like it when you're watching them on the field or in the locker room or in the post-game shows, but they're down to what? They're Bridgewater's out, Tua's out. They're
Yep.
down to third-string quarterback. They couldn't beat the Jets. This is really a trap game for Minnesota, but really this is a game the Vikings should pretty well handle Miami. Don't you guys think?
Yeah, they definitely just with their offense alone, they should be able to handle this. And like I said, down to their third string quarterback, let's just see how well he's in his playbook because they're going to test him early and often.
Well, this is a Vikings team that's beaten the Bears. They've beaten the Packers. The Packers lost last week. The Packers are at home this week against it. No, Minnesota's on the road. But this could get ugly for the Packers pretty quickly if the Vikings win, and even if the Packers win. A Packers loss would be, I wouldn't say catastrophic, but come on, it's week 6. You know, all this talk about, there's a lot of football left to be played. No, there's not. You got to get your act together and start playing some ball. But if Minnesota wins, even if Packers win, they're going to maintain that game lead over the Packers. And I think this is, at some point, Green Bay is going to have to settle down and start playing some ball if they want to win the division. Because getting the Packers in the playoffs as a wild card team is not going to end well. I can assure you that. Winning a division, getting a home game may not end well either. If they end up playing, somebody like Dallas or San Francisco or whatever. If they play Atlanta, okay, maybe. But Cincinnati going to go into New Orleans and play the Saints. You guys, this is one of the games this week that I'm just total head scratcher. I don't know who we're going to get. We're going to get the Saints that can't put up any points like when they play a division game, or we're going to get the Saints that, had to score 39 points to beat Seattle. Can the Bengals play with the Saints if the Saints decide that they're going to score a whole bunch of points? I'd like to like Cincinnati on the road, but the Ravens defense isn't all that good, and all Cincinnati could muster in Baltimore last week was 17 points that got beat by the Ravens. So I have no idea which way to go with this game. What do you guys think?
It's definitely a head scratcher, but seeing that I think Cincy is a more balanced team right now, I'm going to take Cincy on the road.
Yeah, I'm going to take Cincinnati very in a close one, but I gotta answer two things. First off, Hefe through is misspelled, so you're just making yourself look more ignorant if you don't know how to spell through.
And it doesn't go through Arrowhead.
Yeah. The second thing is, and
I'll explain exactly why in a second. Go ahead, Cap.
Jack Kenna. I wanted to ask me a question. It's like, what do I think about the photographer being in the tunnel? All I can say is that if he had a field pass, he was there with the field pass. He was independent. He was an
Yep.
independent guy that ESPN had. If he had a field pass, then he's allowed to be there on the field. The question was, did he make a dart across the players when he shouldn't have? The answer is yes, because you can see that the players were filing out. He shouldn't have made the move to go across the players. He was wrong there. Devontae Adams was wrong in pushing him out of being pissed off. And who's gonna suffer for it is Adams is going to get he's going to pay some money ultimately. Oh, there's my boy Jamie Paye. There you go. Philly sports guy. I just saw him at the Atlanta game. Sorry, I'm watching the game as well. Yeah, Philly sports guy is there. But yeah, in fact, I need to pause this so that I can go back later and take a picture. But anyway, the point is that if he has a field pass, he shouldn't have done it. Adams was wrong in pushing him. And again, Shreese said that it's slander if I say that he was out for money. Okay, allegedly, he was giving some advice to take him for all it's worth because everybody and their grandmother would tell him the same thing. Okay, so I would say allegedly that the guy is going out for money because God forbid I don't want to be convicted of slander. But the point is that it's a screwed up situation, period. I'm sorry if I took a little bit long. I want to make sure that I get a picture of Jamie for the screen.
I understand the fans. I understand the fans' passion on both sides of this issue. But the reality is, we had somebody who, was in the wrong place at the right time or right place at the wrong time. It shouldn't have happened. It did happen, and now we have to deal with it. And I'm sure the NFL will deal with it. That said, the NFL players and staff are, I won't say they're held to a higher standard. I think we should all be held to the same standard. But I think that there are those that are expected to execute that standard at a higher level. Let's put it that way. I don't understand when people says, "Oh, they should be held to a higher standard." Higher than what? As human beings, we should treat each other the way we want to be treated. And when that gets out of whack, then we have to deal with it.
I'm listening, by the way. I just need to take care of this real quick.
Copy that. Baltimore going to go into New York to take on the Giants. The Giants team that's all liquored up based on their record and their couple of wins. They got one last week against the Packers, which I would think they would consider probably an upset. They're going to get a team this week, V, that they don't really know anything about. They're also going to get, Lamar Jackson and a Baltimore Ravens team that thinks that they can hang with just about anybody. I don't think this ends well for the Giants, but they may give Baltimore all they want, no?
This may end up just being a field goal game. Even with all the talent there, like say Lamar running all over the field. I'm gonna step out on a limb. I'm taking Baltimore in this one. Just for the sheer fact, I don't think the Giants D has an answer for Mr. Jackson at this point of the season.
What game are we doing? The Giants versus who?
Giants and Ravens.
Oh, I thought the Bengals were playing the Ravens.
No, they played the Ravens last week.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Bengals are playing New Orleans.
Yeah. We took Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll do that. Then I'll still stay on that one. I just want to. I apologize.
That's okay.
I thought they were playing.
Yeah.
Giants and Ravens. Yeah. I'll take the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm taking the Ravens too. And I just do something in the chat. I mean, I know we're all passionate. We want to be fans. It's a fan-based show. We're not going to trash other people, other teams on here. So comments getting a little sideways. Ref's going to be throwing some flags here.
I'll be in concussion protocol.
Well, yeah, and if they get too out of whack, then I'm going to close the chat. So I want people to be passionate about the football. We're going to answer questions.
Just be respectful.
Yeah, and we understand that we've got a situation that happened in Kansas City, and they're going to do it.
Hefe, you're in timeout, brother. You're in timeout. I'm sorry. You can't do crap like that. I just put you in timeout. I put you in timeout last time. Stop doing it. You're in timeout.
Copy that. Yep.
anymore, and I'm going to block you, and I don't want to do that.
I'll do it. I'm not worried about that. We had the warning, so that's what it is. And Cap, if we get any more, I'm just going to close the chat.
Yes, sir.
We'll finish our show, and people can come back when this is not this is not CNN.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay going to go into Pittsburgh. Big trap game for the Bucks. I think Tampa Bay should win this. Pittsburgh's not really scoring a lot of points, but if Tampa Bay's not ready to play, it's not like they're going to be looking ahead to next week's game against Carolina or anything like that. I think back in the day, teams maybe were maybe had that issue, maybe looking ahead or not paying attention. Interconference game on the road for the Bucks, not one they have to win. But I don't think I think the issue here, guys, is not that Pittsburgh couldn't win this game, but they don't know if they have enough firepower. I mean, I think Tampa Bay could spot Pittsburgh 14 points and still beat them.
Yeah, I'm taking Tampa Bay in this one also on the road. I think they just got too much firepower right now.
Yeah.
No big injuries but like I say, Pittsburgh just is not scoring enough points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a while before Pickett gets the
Yes.
offense under his belt.
Yeah.
I'll take Methuselah at quarterback for the fake Pirates in this one.
Yeah. Carolina going to go into LA to take on a pretty pissed off Rams team. They got beat by the Cowboys last week. They're not playing well. I don't think the Panthers have enough firepower to beat the Rams, even with a banged up Matt Stafford. But the question earlier was who's the backup for the Rams. I mean, if you're going to rest Matt Stafford for a week, wouldn't this be the week to do it? I mean, I don't think the Panthers are going to beat you. I mean, the defense alone for the Rams should be able to handle the game, right?
Exactly. And Carolina's not putting up a lot of points either. I'm taking the Rams at home because they got embarrassed by Dallas.
Yeah.
Panthers, it's gonna be a paint scraping game.
Well, and
one way.
That's a good point, V. And with the Rams, good point there, because the Rams now have the back-to-back home games, right? They're going to have to play some games on the road, including some division games. You got to win these home games. It's one thing to lose to home against Dallas, so to speak, I guess, but they got to start to turn things around. I think they'll get that little bit of a turn against the Panthers, who, quite frankly, I think should be on the clock. Did somebody had to comment on the Panthers?
I said Carolina Fire Sale.
Carolina Fire Sale, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yeah, and I agree with Brooke Mayfield is beat up. They're just not getting it done. Raiders moved from California because they didn't want Raiders fan in Las Vegas. Okay. Arizona going to go into Seattle, play a division game. It's the Seahawks team's not playing any defense. There's a Cardinals team that I don't think y'all, even after 5 weeks, we even know what we've got, right? They played the Eagles tough. They haven't played some other games quite as tough. Their defense, I think, is better than Seattle's, but this is going to be obviously a who can score the most points, and I think it's going to be who can score the most points early, especially with a division game on the road. Weather might be cold. I'd like Arizona in this thing, but the Geno Smith Seahawks are putting up some points, y'all.
Geno is he's been focused. His whole journey has been like topsy turvy. But you see a guy that's focused. He's got his chance now, and he doesn't want Drew Lock to come in and replace him. So he's playing with his hair on fire. Right now, I see Arizona taking this one in Seattle, just on the firepower alone, and I don't think Seattle's defense has an answer for Kyler Murray.
Probably not. But I got to tell you, V, Seattle's like number 7 in scoring, I think. Wow. So they're 127 points. Arizona's 18th with 105. So it's not a lot of differences. But I don't know. Here's the thing: Seattle's winning because they don't have any defense, but their offense is able to score enough points. Right. I think what I hear you saying is that Arizona's going to create issues that won't allow Seattle to be able to put up so many points, and I think that gives the Cardinals a chance to get one on the road here, and they really need it, quite frankly.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
one on the road.
The 49ers lead the division, and then it's everybody else, right?
Yeah.
So I think that somebody's going to have to step up, or we're only going to get one team out of the NFC West in the playoffs.
Plus, on that note too, Seattle's running back is out for the season with a broken leg. So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah. Raiders had
Yeah,
plans to go to L.A. Yeah, they probably did.
yeah. I was gonna
But
say, and apologies because I'm still in concussion protocol. I want to make sure that I'm caught up. Niners in Seattle.
no, Arizona Cardinals in
Oh,
Seattle.
Cardinals,
Yeah,
Cardinals. Oh,
Seattle.
Cardinals in Seattle. Yeah,
I'll take the Cardinals just because again the Seattle has a lot of walking wounded.
Yeah, yeah,
And Arizona, like you said, that little midget. I know I'm going to get crucified for calling him a little midget again, but I'll take the little midget over whoever Seattle's trotting out a quarterback. It's either going to be Drew Lock or Geno Smith, and people will eventually get Geno Smith's playbook when there's enough
yeah.
film on
Right,
somebody. He's going to
right.
get locked up.
Yep. One of the biggest games, if not the biggest game of the week, is going to show Buffalo going to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. I like the Bills. I think they're angry. I think they're just angry for all kinds of reasons. But comment earlier about the Super Bowl going to Arrowhead, no. And the reason why is because Kansas City is going to get beat against the Bills. And even if they ended up tied, the head-to-head would put the championship game in Buffalo. And a lot can happen for that to even happen. But I like the Bills on the road. Nothing wrong with Kansas City. And they showed um, the type of team that they are against the Raiders being down 17-0. But you can't go down 17-0 against Buffalo and then expect the Bills to screw it up like the Raiders did. So I think the Chiefs are in
Right.
trouble. What do you guys think?
I got the Bills also on the road in Arrowhead.
Yeah. And I just think nothing against Kansas City and that they can't play at that level. They've proven that past few years. But I just think the Bills are angry.
Yeah,
Um,
pissed off team.
and,
I wish our team was pissed off like that.
yeah, exactly. No, you're exactly right, and I wish they were too. And with better coaching, maybe we'd be better than 1-4. That said, the Bills had it fairly easy last week, if you will, in their blowout win at home against Pittsburgh. So they're going to be well rested. They probably got out of the whirlpool yesterday. Not that the Chiefs, it was the division game. Refs will be nicer to Bills and KFC. Maybe who's the ref in that game? Brad Allen.
KC, Brett. Yeah.
Brad Allen's the ref in that game. That's a pretty good crew. At least in Jerome Boger. Where's Boger this week?
He's
Boogeyman,
up
where is
in
he? Oh, he's in Jacksonville,
Jacksonville,
Indianapolis. No, I feel bad for the
I
Colts.
gotta ask though, and people, because there was a thing about like the people's comments about to get Boger
Refs
out
do
of the
love Josh
league.
Allen.
It was like get rid of Boger. It was like, what do you call it, a petition? What stupid ass thing did he do last weekend to get that?
Oh, he had the phantom holding call on Brady. That
Okay.
got
Well,
them.
then yeah, it's overdue. It's
the roughing
overdue.
the
Yeah, I
passer.
mean, it wasn't even a. It wasn't. If it, the holding call against the Raiders on the field goal wasn't even a call. Boger's call was like 10 times not a call that wasn't a call. It was not even. No one could make. There wasn't a single person out there on both. Um, Anyone that knew anything about officiating and those that didn't, quite frankly, that could come up with any reason why Brady should have gotten the benefit of any flag there. And I don't understand how you can't defend that. And so if NFL, if New York can't defend that, then they need to stop it. But they can't just whack somebody in the middle of the season. They don't have enough officials to go around. So he might suck at being a white hat, but it's the only white hat they got.
Yeah.
So they
So
gotta
we get
dance with who
we
brought
get
him.
one more year of him until he is put out the pasture, shot in the head.
Maybe the first one. Put out the pasture would be my preference. Don't call anyone a racist unless you can back with.
And I say here on that as well. Just stop.
Yeah.
like I said, we appreciate the viewership. We appreciate everybody being in here, but the childishness, folks, has got to stop. This is the show about the NFL. Period.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I'm closing the chat. So it's just going to be us for now. Anyway, we try to do the right thing. We're not perfect here either, and we have our own opinions, but we have to be balanced. We have to be fair, and we're trying to do some good things here. And I'm not going to have some clowns in the
Like you
chat.
said, just be respectful.
But our core group that have been with us from the beginning, they know who they are, and they know we still want them out there.
Appreciate you.
All right, Dallas going to go into Philadelphia in division game, take on the Eagles. This is an Eagles team, obviously flying pretty high. I mean, 5-0. They think they can beat Dallas. They probably will. Dallas, even with the loss, doesn't hurt them because the Giants really aren't as good as the Giants think they are. And Washington's essentially on the clock. The problem with this thing is, sorry, I had to mute my mic. The problem with this is you're going to go into Philadelphia and lose a division game. Obviously, then you'll have the Eagles at home, but at that point, it may not matter. So, what do you guys think? A win for the Eagles, better for the Eagles? Who gets hurt more, I guess is what I'm saying. If the Eagles lose, are they in worse shape than a Dallas win? I don't think so. It might even the stakes a little bit, but I don't think for the Eagles it matters. I think they can recover from that win. My point is that if Dallas goes in there and get beat, Dallas has to have a makeup game somewhere. They essentially set that up, if you will, by beating the Rams in Los Angeles last week, but they're going to have another one or two somewhere along the way, assuming they don't just win the division outright, and I don't think they will. So if they lose again in Philadelphia, they're down one in the division, which technically they could still win, but they're going to have to make up that game somewhere, and I don't know how long the Cowboys can hold on, right?
Absolutely. I'm taking Philly in this one. Like I said, they're on a roll. Very well coached, and they've got a quarterback. Well, that whole team is really trying to make a statement. So you have to admire the way they came out and shoot. They were tired of hearing about the NFC least, so they want to make a statement. So
yeah,
I'm taking Philly in this one.
Yeah,
in a close one, mind you.
It could be. I think Dallas, in order for Dallas to pull this off, Cap, I think they're going to have to get out to an early lead, and more than just like 10 points, maybe 14 something. I think if they get out 14, that'd be good, but I don't know. The Eagles let them hang around. Dallas could do anything, but I'm just not sure Dallas scored enough points.
Yeah,
remember Dallas. Dallas is 25th in scoring. The Eagles are number 5. I just don't.
I'll just say that if you're going to go by Dallas does have a good defense, but right now the Eagles are scoring. I don't say almost at will, but they have a better offensive potency right now. Dallas has a good defense. Maybe Dallas will limit the scoring, but you got to also take in the fact that you're playing in Philly. Okay. That is not playing at the Vet. I mean, people would not want to play at the Vet because that was a crappy field. But you're playing in Philly with that crowd, so you're actually playing 11 plus 50K on 11. Okay, I'm gonna take the crowd in that one. The Eagles might not have beaten a lot of powerhouses, but and Dallas is playing a lot better, and it would surprise me. Here's the big question in Dallas is everybody says if you're a starter, you never lose your spot to an injury. I think that Dallas would be well advised, even if they lose. Okay. I think Dallas would be well advised to keep Cooper Rush as their quarterback because they're playing for him. They're playing better for him, and keep Dak back in the stead to make sure first off that he's going to be okay. But you don't pull Cooper Rush until Cooper Rush has a couple bad games or a bad game and then another bad half. Then you pull him. So if you're Dallas, keep Cooper Rush as your quarterback. And again, I don't care about the Cowboys. I'm just saying what makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
still take the Eagles in this one.
Yeah. I'll take the Eagles as well. Dallas has the best offensive coordinator in football. Maybe so. Maybe so. They'll have if the Cowboys
Mhm.
don't go deep into January, they'll maybe have one of the better coaches in the league too.
Yeah,
Sean Payton.
Raphael,
Was
I'm going
great.
to Nolans. I see your stuff. I'm going to Nolans. I can read it. I'll see you in New Orleans
You are going to New Orleans for what?
for the Raiders game.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that okay. Yeah. I was gonna say, why are you going to Bengals game? Got it. I got to catch up. Denver going to go into Los Angeles, play the Chargers in the game that we sort of care about because it's a division game, but I don't
Yeah.
really see a way Denver's going to win this one. Do you guys? I mean, we'd like for Denver to beat the Chargers, I think, just to kind of push the rest of the division down a little bit, more of a level playing field. But I think this is kind of an easy win for the Chargers. Denver's just not scoring enough points, y'all. Denver's only ahead of Indianapolis by like 8 points. They're number
Wow.
31 out of 32 teams. Chargers are where are the Chargers? They're number 9 behind the Raiders at 122
That's
points.
going.
So
Wow.
I don't see Denver being able to do much in this one.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking the Chargers in this one. Being at their home field, Sunday night game, it's going to be all the glitz and glam of Hollywood. But like you say,
Yeah.
that Russell Wilson experiment so far hasn't materialized
Yeah.
in a good way.
No,
But
not at all.
I'm taking the Chargers in this one.
I'll
Yeah, I'm
take the
taking the Chargers
Chargers.
too.
Yeah, but here's
I'm,
one other thing, and it was I don't know if it was pregame for Wild Wild West. I think that Wilson, because of his injury, and it hasn't been announced in Denver about the surgery and the
That
thing as
show.
well.
yeah.
That Wilson, because of his religious beliefs, isn't advertising that he got stem cells.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
So
Mm,
that's one of
All
the
right.
reasons. That's one of the reasons why they're keeping that, on the low,
on the low.
because you talk about somebody that would just get shellacked by the press based upon his religious beliefs, getting stem cells to help him heal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not a good look. Not a good look.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm not sure the Monday night game is going to be all that exciting. I think if there is one this week, I think Dallas Philadelphia is interesting just from the complexity standpoint with regards to
Yeah.
things going on in the NFC. Although I think people better start paying attention to the San Francisco 49ers, especially if they win their second road game in 2 weeks in Atlanta. Um, not that the Panthers gave much of a fight, but it's tough for a West Coast team to go east. So two road wins for the 49ers would set them up pretty well as well. All right, gentlemen, let's put some teams on the clock. My suggestions are Washington, Indianapolis, Denver, Houston, and Pittsburgh.
I got Washington on that list. Easy.
Okay.
Are we only
I
allowed to
got.
pick one?
No, we can put as many on the clock as we want. Those are the ones that I think after 5 weeks that are Pittsburgh, Denver, and Indianapolis are the 3 lowest scoring teams in the NFL. The Rams are actually 29, but hopefully they'll turn things around. Chicago,
Yeah.
Washington, Houston, they're all just not scoring enough points. Green Bay's 22nd, and so there's some teams we have to wait to kind of see what they're going to do, including the Raiders. The Raiders are number 8, so I don't want to put them on the clock. I know they're
Right.
1-4, but they're scoring a lot of points. If they get the offense going and they can look in the mirror and figure out some of the issues they have, um, I'm not saying they have a winning season to make the playoffs, but I think we can push them into week 10 or 11 before we have to put them on the clock, so to speak. But my picks this week for the clock are Washington, Indianapolis, Denver, Houston, and Pittsburgh. That would join the Jets, who we put on the clock before the season even started. Jets are a little bit of a surprise, but I still don't think they're going anywhere. But what do you guys think? Any issues with those?
Well, so you were putting them all on. I think, like I said, I want to hold off on Indy
Okay.
because I still have. I mean, I still
Yeah,
have
that
that
makes
sneaky.
sense.
I still have that sneaky suspicion that because Taylor's been out, that they have not played up to their capabilities.
Okay.
Yeah, Washington, I have no problem with. Denver, yeah,
Want to
I
see
mean,
how?
if I'm gonna kill somebody in the West right now, I'm gonna kill the Broncos because they go. And you said Seattle's there.
No, Houston and Pittsburgh were the other two.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna hold off on Pittsburgh this week, but I mean, let's put it this way. Let's wait to put Houston in the grave until after we play them.
I agree
Okay.
with that one. Yeah,
Okay.
I agree
All
with
right.
that one
Okay.
because
Yeah, I mean, I just think with Pittsburgh, I'm not going to argue with you, and I think that's fine. We'll do that. My reasoning for Pittsburgh was not scoring enough points, and the rest of the division is more than capable. Cincinnati and Baltimore, in particular, more than capable of handling what goes on there. And the Steelers are just not going to get a playoff spot. And so, if you're not going to get a playoff spot, you might as well be on the clock. But remember, if we put you on the clock, you're done. So if you want to hold off, and I think we should for the reasons you said, we want to agree on this week. We're going to put Washington, Denver, and Houston.
yep, I'm in agreement.
Okay.
Well, like I said, I'm holding off on Houston.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you
But,
said Pittsburgh. My bad.
yeah,
Okay,
No,
so
yeah,
you want
he
to?
was Houston.
Okay,
yeah.
so we're gonna. So do we want to go
I
Washington?
can see I can see Pittsburgh out of those choices. Yeah, um, being on the clock.
So we want Washington and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yep,
Okay, and no Denver till after Monday night.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they urinate on the bed or worse, then yeah, we can do that.
Okay, we'll say the Broncos for another day, and I'm fine with that. Okay, so on the clock we have the Jets,
and
New York
Washington.
Jets, Washington Commanders, and Pittsburgh Steelers. It hurts to kind of put Pittsburgh on this clock, but y'all they're just not scoring enough points, and
Right.
and I don't think they can make I don't think they can make the wild card, and I think that even it's just too big of a stretch. Cincinnati, Baltimore would have to completely collapse,
Collapse.
and then you still have Cleveland, who isn't playing well, but they're playing better than the Steelers, and they're scoring a lot of points. So I think from a point standpoint, we can put those teams on the clock. So, all right, sounds good,
That's it.
cool. All right, let's
Yeah,
go around. Let's go
I
around the
agree with
table.
Matthew said that Lovey Smith. You can't sleep on Houston
Lovey. Yeah.
just yet with Lovey. Yeah,
Well, and I would agree with you, but the only reason why really is because of the fact that they play in the AFC South. I mean,
Right.
I'm not sold on the Houston Texans, but I'm okay with holding off on that. I'm okay with holding on. But
and the other
Raiders,
reason why is, and Matthew put it up there as well. Our record after the bye is the worst in
Yeah.
professional football.
That's why I say I agree. Wait till after we play them.
The
We'll
worst in
see.
professional football, and I know you'll look that up, Coach. Or sorry, Ref. I get my
no, I
coach,
believe you.
coach
I
earlier,
believe
Ref
you.
now. Yeah,
I
they
believe you.
are the worst after the bye of any
After the
team in
bye,
the NFL.
Well, that's good to know. All right. Well, let's go
not
around.
good to know, but we know it.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bad to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's go around and get your final thoughts for what happened in week 5 or happened in week 6. Cap, what's on your mind this week?
Well, did I get a chance to debate the a holes? I don't think I think I've only cussed twice tonight, which is not bad for me. And I didn't
No.
drop any f bombs, so I'm good to go there. Uh,
Mhm.
what really pisses me off is the way that I was treated again by security at an AFC West game. Okay. I got in LA, and I told you guys about LA saying, "Hey, pops, we'll let you in this time, but next time lose the medal." They would not let me in Kansas City. They would not let me into Kansas City. I had to take off all of my necklaces that were metal. Now I snuck the two in that you saw on the screen because
Right.
I knew I was going to be searched again. But I snuck two in. There was the owl and the one hard Raider shield. And then they almost didn't let me in because of all of the metal that I had on my arm. And I'm like, you have got to be frigging kidding me. Okay. It is. I know Wayne has gone through it at Charger games because of his, of his arms and whatnot. But there's got to be some common effing sense. And I still didn't say the F word
Mm-hmm.
on treating people right. Because if I would have went in with Skull Lady went in with a bunch of people wearing red, she had no problem getting in. She had no problem getting in, and it is crap. And so I'm probably, I might not be going to Kansas City anymore, just like I'm not going to be going to LA anymore. And you know what? It's okay. It's okay. It'll just save me money.
Save you
It'll,
money and the anguish that comes
yeah,
with that. Yeah.
right. But
Ah,
the fans treated me well. The fans treated me well. I know that they were throwing things at the players and that they were probably a-holes to other Raider fans. I know that when you dress up, you stand out either positively or negatively. But myself and Hollywood and Laredo had no problem, so I can't besmirch the entire crowd in Kansas City. But I will say that their security can suck from under.
hmm.
That's all I'm going to
I,
say.
I just would say that it's sad that we've even gotten to this point. Quite frankly,
It's a real issue though,
it
seriously,
is.
and it's not
Yeah.
in the. They always say safety. I always tell them, what the hell am I going to do at 65, man? Who am I going to
Mhm.
drop kick with my boots?
Exactly.
Are you kidding me? So,
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if I were in an alley fight, I'd take both of you with me, but I understand the
but
reality
we're
of what you're
talking the
saying.
context
Yeah.
of going. We're going to watch the game, not to
Yes.
stir up
That's
anything.
right.
And
Right.
like Kev said, they pick you out because you're a target. You're an easy
Yep.
target for them,
Yep.
and it's nothing that they substantiate from season to season. It always changes. So
Yep. Yep.
I don't know.
All right. Well, that's a sad situation that we're in, unfortunately. And the
But
thing it
it's
is
very
it's
real.
it
Trust me, it's
and it's
very
not
real.
right. Yeah, it's not right. They just they just it's just stuff's gotten sideways. And your point's well taken. We're going there as fans to support our team and enjoy the game. And what have we caused that set any precedent for them or anyone to behave like that, right?
Exactly, especially
And
with our track record. You've never heard
mhm.
of Cap or I.
No,
As far as that goes, any other fans
that's
really
right.
starting a commotion.
That's
We're
right.
going there to support our teams, point
Yep.
blank. Are we being singled out because of the team that we root for? Our attire? Nobody will say, but they hide behind, oh, it's a security issue.
Yeah.
That's a load of crap.
Unfortunately, that's a you know micro for the rest of the world that we live in. That a lot of
Yes,
people hide
exactly.
behind, oh, we have to keep
Exactly.
you safe, or
Yeah,
like we can't make our own decisions about what makes us safe, or we can't make our own decisions about how to be free or
And
to.
you know what? Next time, because I said I am a security officer in the state of Florida, and I had my ID to prove that. I already have my retired military ID. I think next time I'm going to bring my cat card with me as well. I said, and oh, by the way, I work counter threat terrorism for the United States government. Here's my cat card. I don't drink, okay? Because I'm a target. And when I walked out the same gate I walked in, and I saw the lady that was giving me the guff. I said, by the way, you can see I'm stone cold sober, don't you? It's
wow.
bullcrap. It is bullcrap.
Oh, I'm sorry that things have to be that way. I wish there was a way to advocate that it would be differently.
I just say keep sounding it on this platform, and hopefully others will address the issue because it's becoming an issue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Thank you, Sharif. Yeah, it was because of my beard. Damn right. I have a very nice beard. That's true.
hmm yeah. Copy that. All right, everybody. Thanks to all who joined us this week for our week 6 show. I know some things are a little sideways. let's figure out
Get
a
your
way to
books.
keep it in perspective, keep it in context, and keep to our mission, which is to enjoy being fans, being responsible fans. Yep,
Absolutely.
Make sure you
yep,
get your book, folks. If you're not getting the walk, you're wrong.
yeah, yeah. You're not if you're not reading Wayne's book, Amy's book, you're not a football fan. I don't think
That's
because you
right.
got to read those books. It's just too cool.
Appreciate it.
Um,
Appreciate it,
yeah.
guys.
So yeah, we'll get some books out to those winners tonight. And thank you for those fans who now know what 25 Bingo Cross means in
Oh
Raiders
yeah.
lore. It means a few other things as well, but let's keep it at that. And anyway, enjoy the games this week. We'll see you next week for a week 7 show, guys. And by next week, we're going to be pushing not only towards Thanksgiving, which is November and December football, but halfway
Yes.
through the
Halfway through.
2022 NFL season. Hard to believe that we're starting to turn the corner now, getting into the holidays and all that. I shouldn't
Oh
be able
yeah.
to do anything to Amazon. Yeah, okay. All right,
I
everybody.
agree.
Um, yep. I'm ready to go. I'm waiting on Cap.
Yeah, I needed to surprise you. Like I said, there's your drop. I will say, get the video off of my Facebook or whatever, because
Yeah,
the video is straight from TV.
love it. Yeah, send it over. Maybe we'll put it in our little
Only
pregame
if you got
video.
time. Only if you
Yeah,
got time.
we'll find time. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Got it.